If you've ever tried ranking a collection page against a huge competitor where you've thought to yourself, how am I going to beat these guys because they have so many more products, then this video is for you and it's going to change the way that you've been looking at SEO. If you run a 7-figure fashion brand, you've probably hit this problem where you're trying to rank for one of these core product category keywords like summer dresses, linen shirts, or cotton pants. And the search results, the people you're going up against, they have 50, 200, 300 products on that page. But you're a small brand, you have what, like 10 or 15 products at most, even though it's like your biggest product category. So when you're in this situation, the question becomes, how do I actually outrank these guys that have 10 times the amount of products than I do? What's frustrating is that almost nobody understands the mechanics behind this, and fewer people know what to actually do about it, especially for fashion brands. So let me break it down to you, and I'll show you the exact technique that I discovered that took a small brand with a small amount of products I was working for from position number 10 to position number 1 in 45 days for their main product category keyword that was worth tens of thousands of dollars a month. Before we get into it, let's do a quick overview of the situation so we understand what Google is trying to do and why this technique works. Google is trying to look at all the pages in the internet and trying to assign relevance to each of these pages to different topics. Google ranks with relevance first and then sort of uses user signals to sort of confirm it made the right relevance choice through its algorithm. And when you're targeting a category keyword or any other keyword for that matter, your competitors have many different ways of beating you in this relevance game. It could be that your competitors have a lot more backlinks to their website and to that dedicated page, or maybe they have loads of internal links. They've created many pages on their website that are relevant to the subject and they're linking back to this main page you're trying to beat that basically says this page is exactly about this keyword. So when Google sees those things, it classifies their page as really, really relevant. But there's a different set of metrics that are at the page level that also assign relevance. And this is where this technique can make a really big difference. Those metrics are basically keyword density and entity density, which is basically a way of saying, if I just look at one page and there are many words about this specific topic and many closely related words that I know have to do with this topic, then this page must be about it. When your competitor has many products on this category page compared to you that just have 10 or 15 products or something like that, all those product titles, all that image alt text, it's probably gonna include the target keyword or its variations or entities that sort of make a signal to Google that their page is more about the subject than your page is about it. I figured this out the hard way. I was working for a small fashion brand and we were trying to rank their main product category and they were going against massive competitors that had been around for ages. So that competing page was really, really strong. And we did what every normal SEO would do. We would make sure that the target keyword was in the right places. So it was in the URL, the SEO title, the H1, first paragraph, and across, along the page in several other parts. We made sure we had lots of internal links pointing to it with good anchor text. We built backlinks to the page. We made sure there wasn't a UX issue. So we recorded sessions and see what's happening with the users. So everything looked fine, but I couldn't figure out why Google loved the competitor pages so much. And for a moment, I was thinking, it's because they've been around for so long, they are basically unbeatable. That's when I decided to manually check our competitor page once more. The page was really simple. Like for the user, it just had loads of products in there, a little bit of content at the bottom, nothing that specific. They had more products than we did, but not a huge amount more. I didn't think that was exactly it. But when I opened the source code, I realized how wrong I was. I basically opened the source code, pressed Command F to search for the keyword or part of the keyword, and I saw over 1,000 hits of that word in the source code. And that's what Google was looking at. Google doesn't see the page as we do as users. They see that source code. And for sure, that page was way more about that subject than ours. Their keyword density and entity density wasn't a little bit higher, it was orders of magnitude higher. And that's when I realized what we had to do. We had to imitate it in a way that helped Google think we were as relevant as our competitors. So what we did is we built an accordion at the bottom of the page. And inside that accordion, we added a list of 100 different occasions somebody would use this product. So let's say we were targeting the keyword some addresses. What that list would have would be 100 headings, and then after each heading, a very, very short paragraph that sort of described what the heading was about. And each heading would be something like some addresses for holidays, some addresses for a beach wedding, some addresses for travel. So different instances or occasions in which someone could use a some address, what the page was about. And we created this list with ChatGPT. We just told it, make a list of the most relevant occasions in which someone would use a some address. What we ended up doing was increasing the keyword density and the relevant entity density of our page. And it wasn't in a spammy way. We were just describing a way that users could actually use the product we were selling. No operational changes, no changes to SKUs, nothing like that. We just found a way to increase our relevance through content. Now, after implementing, what happened? The page was sitting somewhere between positions 10 and 12. So it already had a good start, but that's where it was really, really stuck. But after a little while, it started climbing. It sort of went to positions number 5. And then over time, it ended up winning positions 3, then position 2, then eventually sat in position 1. And the whole process took about 45 days. And after it hit number 1, it became the highest revenue generating page for the whole website. The reason why this works is we already had enough internal links. We already had enough backlinks. We already had enough of all the other relevant signals. But what we were missing was a key fundamental one. We needed to make sure that our keyword density and our entity density was on par with our competitors. We didn't have to match the competitors that had the most amount of these words. We also couldn't be the one with the least amount. We had to be somewhere around the average, hopefully somewhere above the average. Now, it's important to know that this technique doesn't solve everything. If you have a UX issue, this is not going to solve it. If you have no internal links to the page, this is not going to solve it. If the search results sort of require backlinks for you to win the page and you have none of them, this is probably not going to solve it. But if you have a page sitting in a really good position, let's say somewhere between position 8 and position 20, it sort of means that Google sort of understands what the page is about. It kind of likes it, but it's probably missing some factors to just give it that extra push to the top positions. And this could perfectly be one of them. Okay, so this is great. Now, how do you apply this to your brand and how do you know if it actually works? So you're going to go to this collection page that's been stuck somewhere or that doesn't have the performance that you want. And what you're going to do, you're going to open ChatGPT, you're going to figure out the keyword you're targeting for that collection page, and you're going to ask ChatGPT to say, write me a list of 100 occasions in which someone would use this keyword, and you enter the keyword. ChatGPT is going to spit this thing out, the list of 100. You got to read through it and make sure they're all sort of relevant ones and it didn't make up something totally stupid or nonsense. Maybe you don't need 100, maybe you only need 60, maybe you only need 40. I can't really help you with that without looking specifically at your case, but you can just try with something. Then you're going to create an accordion and you're going to paste that list inside that accordion, and then you're going to sit and wait. Try to not do anything else with the page. Let Google read that thing and let's see what happens. If you don't see results between 30 to 60 days, it's probably not it. And in that case, if after 60 days you haven't seen anything, I would probably remove the list or make it smaller and test that a little while more. If that doesn't do anything, then I would just remove it because you probably never had sort of a relevance issue and you're missing some of the other factors. But now you know if this experiment failed, that you got to keep building internal links, you got to keep building your domain authority, you got to keep building that page authority. So I hope this video helped. It took me quite a while to figure this out. And if you have a fashion store with collection pages that are stuck somewhere, this is a 10-minute technique that you can implement that could maybe make a massive difference for you and make these pages jump from positions 10 to positions 1 eventually. Now, a final word of caution, most SEO tools won't recommend you to do this. They might even flag you as you being over-optimized. But my response to that is if your competitors are over-optimized, because that's the numbers that they have, they're being rewarded with #1 rankings. So I'm not sure that over-optimization is actually a problem. it's probably something that's somewhat required or at least accepted and not hurting them. It's worth a try. It's so easy to implement. It's so easy to remove if it's not doing anything. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment. If not, watch this video here to learn about 14 SEO mistakes you really don't want to make.